Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This reading today is about next year, the coming year. So, how is the coming year looking for you according to current energies? So, pile number one, we have Virgo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, and Pisces. Your card is the changing woman, and the keyword is cycles. Pile number two, we have Cancer, Libra, Taurus, and Capricorn. Your card is Amaterasu, and the keyword is beauty. For the third pile, we have Aquarius, Leo, Gemini, and Aries. Your card is Vila, with the keyword shape-shifting. Okay, so I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the card, the zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number one, your card is Changing Woman with cycles, and this is Estsanatlehi, Navajo goddess, and she represents the changes of the seasons because her dress changes according to the seasons. She also changes, and she can even change her age and change her appearance very easily. So I feel like this year is going to be about, the coming year is going to be about adapting to a lot of changes. And I also feel like there's going to be significant changes, but also many changes, like a chain reaction, or a kind of it doesn't feel like a roller coaster, but it feels like there's a lot of changes happening in the sequence. Maybe the sequence itself is particularly relevant. Okay, this is going to be a different reading. I'm going to get you a card for each month. So we have a beautiful overview of the coming year, and then we go from there. Okay, so let's see. What is the coming year looking like for pile number one? Wow. So January starts with change already. The wheel is spinning. The Fool, Nine of Swords, Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Maybe I should be saying the month. So Wheel of Fortune for January, the Fool for February, the Nine of Swords for March, the Five of Swords for April, the Two of Pentacles for May, the Queen of Cups for June. Wow, Judgment card for July, Eight of Pentacles for August, Page of Pentacles for September, the World card for October. The Queen of Pentacles for November. And we have 2 cards. Let's see. Okay. So we have the King of Cups for December. But then there's this like hidden energy here. Okay, the Hierophant for December. Wow. So I guess already you're starting the year with some huge change that might be a bit disappointing, but it is the beginning of a beautiful process that I feel is culminating in October. I feel like this process ends in October. So whatever you're starting in February, I feel like you're adapting to a change. You're adapting to the change in February. But maybe there is something disappointing you here, and so something disappoints you around, it worries you around March. It disappoints you, and it makes you feel like you lost a battle in April. But by May, I feel like you start to adapt, truly adapt to what has happened. Maybe there was this first attempt to adapt that it wasn't the right strategy. It feels like your year is all about adapting to change and finding the right way to adapt to change, to this change that is happening. Because I feel like you can get a lot of blessings out of it, but you have to match the energy. So you have to be like Estsanatlehi. Your dress has to match. Sorry, I didn't realize that this was off camera. I was so fascinated by the shape that I forgot about the camera. Sorry for that. Okay. So you need to adapt. You need to dress accordingly. It's like you need to, both on the inside as well as on the outside. So something has to match, and you might have to match materials. There's something material here, like you have to change the material of something. Maybe you're building something or you're creating something that requires a specific material, but then you have to adjust. Or it's just the resources that are not available to do something and you have to adapt. It can feel a bit draining by April. But in May, you're going to see the shift happening. And I do feel like this is about the collective. So maybe what would help here is to think about, to focus on what are you adapting to. So maybe that would be more helpful here for you, for this reading. Because it feels like the characteristics of what you are adapting to are going to be the determining factor. Studying what those are, understanding what those are, and also like managing. I feel like there's this, you have to study something and to manage it. So by July, I feel like you're going to have this illumination, this realization of what you need to do and how you go about it. That's why you have the Eight of Pentacles afterwards, and you have the ability to understand what is happening, what you can do with this material. I can't really, I'm kind of obsessive right now about a material, like a specific material. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's clothing. That's why Estsanatlehi has something to do with the clothing. Or maybe not. Maybe this is just for some of you. And she is working on a piece of clothing. She's sewing. Maybe there's something here for people who are creating something innovative with clothing. And there's something about the materials that you're using and the choice of materials that is somehow, there's something groundbreaking about that, because there's something beautiful about how you interact with the collective. And it's like you're trying to do good, you're trying to do things for the greater good, you're trying to have a positive impact, and you're trying to be harmonious with nature, with the resources that you're working on and with. So it feels like also in October, from October until the end of the year, and especially in the threshold moment, you will be much more established and resilient and grounded in what you're doing, in what you're building. So if this is not about someone who was doing something with their hands, especially sewing or creating something with, I don't know, materials, textiles, something like that, a creator, a designer, if this is not about that, I feel like the next year is going to be about how you manage resources in general. Maybe the material aspect of your life is going to come center stage, and especially how you can fine-tune your activity and your profession, your career, to your spiritual path. And if this is resonating with you, the month of July is going to be very important, because it's when you will have some kind of realization, epiphany, a moment of illumination, of the presence of spirit. It's when you will see the truth about something. And it's like that's when the work starts. In July is when the real work starts. It can be the real spiritual work that you're doing. It can be finally you can manifest something that you are dreaming of. It's something that comes from before. It's something that it can come from right now. It can even be a deep desire or a dream that you had for many years. And it seems like the work starts in July, after July. So after July, you can truly work. You can do deep work, because it seems like up until then, you're going to have to manage other stuff, or you don't feel it's completely, you don't feel it completely. It's like you don't feel it as complete. And maybe you also don't feel complete. Maybe there's also something about your physical body here, because changing woman and cycles can also mean how we deal with our cycles, how we deal with the cycles of the body. It can be all cycles. It can be, in the case of the feminine, it can be menstrual cycles, but it can also be the cycles of the day, the cycles of seasons. Managing that. If you can be like a bit preemptive, so if you can prepare for the changes, it feels to me like it's going to be better. And maybe in the beginning of the year, it's more difficult because there are changes in the collective and there are changes around you that can interfere with your preparation for the changes, for the moves, for the movement. It can be a bit difficult to predict, to organize, to manage, but I feel like after July, that will become much easier. And I'm not sure if this is just you. It also feels like you're kind of waiting for other people to be in sync with what you're doing, to be free, to be available. You're waiting for them. You're just like watching and waiting. And then finally, so yeah, this illumination, this enlightenment can also be happening in the collective or with the people that you're working with, or it can just be this overall energy that is really important to you. I feel like in this pile specifically, what is happening around you and the context that you're in, social, the world, it can even be the world, the whole world, what is happening in the world is particularly important in the coming year for you. It seems like it's going to affect you somehow and that you're going to have to manage how it affects you. You're going to have to adapt. But it's fine. It's good because it does feel like you're on your way to adapt. It's not something that you're going to suffer. It's going to make you suffer for a long time. I only see a bit of maybe in the beginning of the year it can be a bit disorienting. It's right in the beginning of the year, January. Do I have to start over? Do I have to find other things to do? Do I have to change everything that I'm doing? It's like you're going to go through this evaluation process here, where maybe you're going to have to cut your losses a bit, like you'll have to leave some things behind, and then you'll be in this limbo because emotionally you might still be a bit stuck in the past, like what you left behind and how it still impacts your choices. But it feels like out of the blue, something is going to happen that is going to enlighten you. I'm not even sure now that for some of you, this might be a product of your spiritual studies, your spiritual path. It's possible. But for others of you, I feel like it just comes out of the blue. It's just like this grace or this blessing that comes, and that It's like now I understand why this happened. Finally, I know how I can manage this. It feels like it happens in July. But it's interesting that in June, you might, for some of you that have very intuitive psyche, even psychic powers and or prophetic gifts, I feel like you might have some clues coming in June. June and July are going to be, I feel like the months where that change is going to be more powerful. It's going to be also integrated into your psyche. It's when the work starts. And in October, the change is complete. And now you're more established until the end of the year. And especially even in January of the year after this one, that's when you'll be, I feel like you'll be fully established into this new reality and integrated. Its spirit is integrated with what you're doing, with the material aspect of what you are doing and what you want to achieve. Okay, so I'll get you a bit of advice also. Okay, all of these. Let's go. Okay, interesting. Cosmos, globalization, playfulness, the self, and spontaneity. Interesting. Revelation, sudden change, authenticity, justice, ego, death. There you go. This is the revelation here. And secret, mystery, stability, protection, solitude, ordeal. Great. So, it feels like the next year you're going to start off being really affected by what's happening in the world, what's happening around you. And then by the end of the year, it seems like you can finally stabilize and you can finally feel protected and maybe even feel comfortable in being in solitude, in connection with the mystery of nature, the mystery of God, the mystery of spirit. It feels like it's a very spiritual process, although there's a lot of material things to take care of. But I feel like the next year for you is going to be quite transformative, specifically in your spiritual path. It's going to be quite transformative and enlightening. So look out for July, particularly powerful July. And after October, it feels like you can finally like sit in silence with your whatever you like to drink and enjoy yourself, enjoy your connection to spirit and to nature and to God. Maybe you'll feel more peaceful after October. It feels much more peaceful, much more stable and grounded. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you really enjoyed it, you can also hit the hype button on the mobile app. And I'm also releasing the membership tiers, so you might want to check them out. I am preparing some new content as we speak, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is Amaterasu. The keyword is beauty. And Amaterasu is fascinated by her own beauty, but not in a way that, for instance, the myth of Narcissus tells us to. It's about you discovering the beauty of you and discovering the reflection, something in the reflection. So I feel like next year, you're going to discover something about yourself that you're going to love. You're going to find something that you love next year. Sorry. And it's something that reflects back to you something, an aspect, a specific aspect that you might have considered ugly, actually, or unnecessary, or not really important at all. Maybe you forgot about it. Because we have all these moths here, and moths to me, they signify this kind of humble transformation, or this, when I say humble, it's like occult and hidden also. It's muted. It's like they don't have colors. They're not like butterflies, or most butterflies that have these beautiful, stunning colors. They're like flowers, like flying flowers. And the moth they come out at night. They're nocturnal enemies. Wow. Animals. Oh, enemies. Are you going to maybe see an enemy in a different light? Maybe. Okay, interesting. So I'm going to choose one card, okay, for each month. So we start January with 10 of Cups. Interesting. 10 of Pentacles. Wow, what a start. Queen of Cups. Four of Pentacles. I think I'm going to have to rearrange this like that. Maybe. Four of Pentacles. So January, February, March. And for May, we have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. 10 of Wands for June. Wow. We have the Tower for July. The Moon for August. The Emperor for September. The Hanged Man for October. Death card for November. And finally, 2 cards again. So the first pile also had 2 cards for December. It feels like it's a sneak peek to the next year, the coming year after this one. 9 of Cups and Strength card. Okay, so you can't really see it like that. It's interesting that the pile number 1's reading had Judgment card also in July. So I don't know, maybe this is something that affects everyone in July, and information that comes out. Hmm. So, just give me a moment. It feels like this is it's a year where you're going to power through. You have the power that's going to drive you through something. Something is happening in the collective, maybe in July, that is going to be a bit disruptive. I don't know, maybe it's going to, I don't know, push you to retreat or push you inward. It's going to push you inward in July. Right. But big change for you seems to happen in November. Big change. You seem to have a lot going on for you and for you, going for you, supporting you at the moment. It feels like you completed something. And the start of the year, the beginning of the next year is going to be this, it's going to be plentiful. It feels really blessed and plentiful. And it feels like it's also a culmination of what came before. Maybe many cycles that are being closed in January and February. So there's some sort of creative endeavor that is starting. In March. Hmm. Yeah. So March seems to be the the month where you're going to start something. You're going to start creating something. You might be joining other people in that creation. April. Oh. So it seems like in April you're going to get, it's like the mood changes in April a bit. You're going to need, I feel like it's like, I need more. I have a lot. I have a lot of the things that I need to continue, but in April, it feels to me like you're going to think, I need more. And you're going to get it. It feels like someone is giving it to you. Someone wants to help you. Someone wants to bless you. Hmm. Wait. Okay, I think I get something else now. So, you're discovering something that you might have thought was unpleasant or ugly or just not interesting or not important. You're discovering that true beauty is there for you. It might be something that you see in yourself too, or something that you see reflected in others, in humanity. So what you see reflected in others. There's kind of a deconstruction here, like you're starting to understand something. You are on the path to see something, to discover something, because you're creating. It's a part of your creative process. So you're engaged in a creative process next year that allows you to discover something that you thought was ugly, but turns out that now you think is actually incredibly beautiful, necessary, useful. I also feel like this Ten of Wands is looking weird to me. It almost looks like someone is offering something to you. But the Ten of Wands and the Tower is something unsustainable, something that has to change, that can't continue as such. And then there's this period of introspection with the moon. It doesn't feel like it's anxiety or fear or like this horrible heavy feeling at all, although this combination here is quite powerful. So this is June, July, and August. But it feels more like a worldview that is crashing. And you are witnessing it, you're also being a part of it, but you're still getting something incredibly creative out of it. It feels to me like she's looking at this part here and she's seeing the beauty in some kind of darkness. To see the beauty in the darkness, to see how it plays a part, that it's going to play an important part. It's like you finally see the usefulness of something that you've been repulsed by or disgusted even by. And now you see it's actually beautiful and it's actually useful. And then we have this combination here that's really interesting, which is the Emperor with the Hanged Man. And it is a power dynamic. It's like master and slave. It's like submission and authority. Is there a concept about... So do you have a specific idea in your mind about the concept of authority and submission? I feel like there's something being challenged here surrounding these two concepts. It seems to me like this is also the spiritual transformation of the year for you. You might see something happening in society that kind of shocks you in that way, to see this inversion, to see this, because the Hanged Man can be the Emperor inverted, the inverted Emperor. But there's an interesting dynamic here, because sometimes the submissive energy is the most powerful. And I feel like that is, you're going to learn something about that this year. That the thing that appears to be weak, the thing that appears to be dark, oppressed, irrelevant, ugly, ostracized, left out. There can be many aspects to this, even a conjunction of all these concepts. That thing is the most powerful. The rejected thing is the most powerful. Sorry for the noise. There's a construction work happening. Nothing I can do about it for now. So you will see an inversion next year And I feel like it will change the way you see yourself, because maybe you also feel like there were aspects of yourself that were weak and now they're powerful. And now you see the power that they hold. And you can also use them, like finally harness their energy to create, because they're integrated. They're aspects that are now integrated into your psyche, into your life. That wisdom is now integrated into your life. It's interesting because this is such an upheaval that I would think that you would be transforming and trying to adapt to this, but I don't see it like that. I just see like you made a discovery and immediately it turns into power. It's not painful. I don't feel like the moon is painful. It feels like you're finally aware of something and it's actually a relief. It's beautiful. It makes you lighter. It makes you more powerful. It's like the hanged man is powered. The beautiful power of the hanged man is the surrender. You can maybe consider Christ as the archetype of the hanged man. Sorry. It can be the surrendering to the divine, the surrendering to God, to God's will, to spirit. And then in November, you have the death card. I feel like in November is here's the moment. In November, here is the moment. Here is what you need. Here is the moment when you integrate into your life, because then you have the Nine of Cups and the Strength. And I also feel like this group here, although this is the beginning and the end of the year, it almost feels like there's a cycle it comes together. So what you started, what you started, or how you started, how you started the year will make perfect sense to you in the beginning of the next year. So the next year really seems like you're going through a complete cycle. And it's the ascension cycle. It's the spiral. And also, I feel like this transformative event, this transformation that is happening in the collective, that is also mirrored in yourself, that makes you see something about yourself that you thought was ugly and now it's beautiful. This is also going to power the coming years. And I think that with the Strength card and the Nine of Cups, whatever happens next year is going to maybe, this specific thing is going to probably impact, I would say, the next 5-6 years or more. At least 5-6 years. So next year, look out for this aspect of your psyche. Something you consider ugly, something you despise. You might even despise this in others. You will see beauty in that for you, for yourself, and you'll start seeing that beauty in the world. You'll be fascinated by it. It will also power whatever endeavor, whatever you want to do. You are very creative. You're starting something very powerful in January, February, March. In March, it feels like you're Like, I want to do something. So the story would be, I want to do this. Let's start this. Okay. I will get the resources for that. Okay, maybe I don't have enough. I have to search. I have to get more. And you do that. And then you start to realize that maybe something's missing. And whatever is missing is in that dark place. And when you see the beauty of that thing that you despised, that's in yourself as well as in others, you will see the power of the weak, the power of the weak, the power of what's not in authority, the power of what is submissive, of what is not trying to, the power of who is, how can I put this? It's very beautiful. The power of what doesn't try to overpower. The power of freedom too. The power of allowing freedom, of allowing yourself to be free, of allowing others to be free. The power of surrender. In November, you integrate this. And by the end of the year, you're on a completely different level that takes you on a new journey that will last for 5 to 6 years or more. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you really, really liked it, you can also hype the video on the mobile app. I have also made the membership tiers available to you, so you might want to check them out. And I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3, your card is Vila. And the keyword is shape-shifting. So 2 things that I got from this card. So one is that Vila, or the Vili, they are very protective of the land. So you have to pay your respects to them so that they won't dance with you to death. And so there's this aspect of kind of the gatekeeper, the protector of something that I don't know how it's going to fit in the reading, but we'll see. And Vila is also about experiencing the fullness of life, so the wholeness of life. And immediately I felt like you might experience something this year that you have never experienced before. And of course, it might seem like it's just a very commonplace thing to say, but there's something relevant about this novel experience. There's something that's going to be particularly salient for you, like one experience throughout the whole year. There's one moment that's going to be it's going to also change you. Okay, I'm getting something really clear already, but I want to get you the cards first. Okay, 2 of Staves for January, and the 10 of Swords for February. The Sun card for March. I think we're going to, like this. And the 6 of Swords or 6 of Arrows for April. Wow. Blessings of Ganesha for May. Interesting. Knight of Arrows for June. Yeah, like that. Queen of Arrows or Swords for July. These two. Okay. For August. Five of Wands or Five of Staves and Eight of Arrows or Swords. These two. Well, let's put this like this. Okay. Eight of Pentacles for September. The Emperor for October. The Hermit for November. And finally, we have the Five of Cups for December. Okay. Okay, so I feel like 2026, if you're watching this now, or next year, this is a timeless reading, so next year, whenever you're watching, I believe that you're going to have like two major events in your life. And one of them to me is this Blessings of Ganesha that is sitting in May. May is going to be, it's like the beginning of the rest of your life. It's an opening. It's a beautiful opening that is coming for you. It can be an opportunity. It comes like once in a lifetime. You feel like that. You feel like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I can chase this. You might be moving. You might be even moving across the ocean or the sea here with the Knight of Arrows. The beautiful Hanuman figure. It feels like it's going to be a big change of scenery for you. You're going to change maybe your career, your life. There's some kind of opportunity here to relocate or to really change your life. It seems to be happening in May, June. And I feel like you're going to have a major achievement in your career or your profession, your work, your creative endeavor, something that you're working on that is going to have a major breakthrough. And I also think that after this success, you are going to be able to do something on your own or for yourself that you never did before. You're going to have the power to achieve something on your own. But that might mean that you'll have to leave something behind again, or that you're going to leave your comfort zone. It can be because you are now on the spotlight, because you're being judged by what you do. There's more pressure, there's more responsibility. It might be a bit scary, yeah. It is like, do I have do I have the stamina to endure this? Because it seems like it might be, you might be offered something that might condition your life, or that might limit your options, or that you know you're going to have to stay there for longer than you thought. Maybe you thought this was going to be a short trip and it ends up being something more stable, something deeper. You might need to be separated from your family or from your friends, from people you love for longer periods. That's a tough decision to make. But I feel like you've worked for this. You are going to communicate this power, or this it's like you're going to send a message to the world that you're available, that you can do this. Like you're going to advertise your services, or you're going to get seen. You're going to be seen. It seems like you're seen in March. You're seen in March. But maybe you're going to make this choice in January, or someone is going to choose you. I feel like that's what's happening. Someone is going to choose you. Maybe you're not even aware yet that this is happening. With the Ten of Swords here, I don't think you are. It's like this is something I could only dream of. Something like that. Also, because Vila has a lot to do with dance, and look at her position, I feel like you might be a performer. This might be something related to performance, with something with the body, using your body, something that uses your body. And that's why I was also seeing you being seen. You are seen. So it's not just like your resume, your documents. You don't just look good on paper. It's you, your presence, your aura, your charisma, your body, okay? Your physical presence. There's something charismatic and attractive and magnetic, empowered about that. Like you're in the spotlight and you really shine in that spotlight. And this can mean many things. This can be in a corporate environment, but it can also be in an artistic or like performing arts. There's something performative. Maybe it's also like pictures and videos, like social media. That is possible. It's going to, so the news of you is going to cross continents and seas and land masses. It's going to be widespread. And that's the great blessing that also I feel like happens and comes with the blessings of Ganesha. It's that universality, the union of continents, of land masses. You're like part of that dance. Ganesha is also dancing. So you're part of that dance. You are part of a community, maybe, that is worldwide. And because of that, you're going to get this opportunity. I feel like it's a female or feminine energy that has chosen you. To me, it feels like this Queen of Swords is that character here. But when they contact you, they might even feel like they're kind of feisty. That's what I'm feeling. Like they're kind of feisty. They're provocative, or they kind of want to push your buttons, or they want to see where they want to test you. I feel like they want to test you. They want to see if you're the one. So maybe there's an audition. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So maybe you're selected to an audition. You need to travel for that. You're going to be tested, and maybe you're, oh, okay. This reading is also has a warning for you that's important. And that is that everything is a test, which is a bit, I don't want to induce paranoia. This is, so let me reframe that. When you are invited for this audition, if this is your case, if this is resonating, everything you say and you do, every aspect of you is significant for this person. And you might not be aware that you're being tested. And so this person is very intelligent, so maybe they will also disguise themselves as a person that is not the decision maker, so that they can see your character, your true self, so that they can understand if you're worthy of this position. Because I do feel like you're going to make a very large jump in the hierarchy of whatever you're doing, and you're going to do something that you've never done before. And for that, you need to be tested, but in a good way. It feels like it's a bit sneaky. It's very smart. This person is very smart. You're dealing with a very intelligent person, but you're also intelligent, and they're going to see that. I feel like this reading is coming to you so that you're also aware that it's not evil. So maybe you feel strange, maybe you have this intuitive hit that something is wrong, but I don't feel like you're in danger. You're just being tested, because the position that you're working towards, it's very powerful, and there's a lot of responsibility there. But once you're chosen, I also feel like there's this grief that can strike you, especially in the end of the year. Oh, because maybe if you're apart from the ones you love, the end of the year is usually very significant, because it's the winter, it's Yuletide, it's Christmas, it's that time of the year. It's New Year's Eve. It's when we miss, our friends, our family, even just familiar places, to see familiar places and familiar faces. So maybe you will need to sacrifice a bit those moments so that you get this opportunity. I'm sorry if this is very specific, but it's just so clear to me, this reading. The images were so clear in my mind that I just really want to honor that. And I don't want to try to fit this reading into other energies. It just feels really simple. So it's also to be authentic and be gentle with yourself, because you're going through this testing period that life is bringing you, but it comes with great opportunity. It comes with great blessings. This is one of the most beautiful and auspicious cards in this deck, the blessings of Ganesha. I love it when this card is out. It just makes the whole reading shine. So it feels like, yeah, this whole year is actually a great blessing if you have the blessings of Ganesha here. The whole year is a great blessing. It's the year when this great transformation in your life happens. It's a major step up in your career. I do feel like this is career related. I can't really frame it in any other way. This is a product of your choices. It's something that you chose. You seem to be like someone who is very at peace with your role in life. I feel like I'm talking to people who have known what they wanted to do ever since they were very, very young. There's this very clear sense of discipline and mission in life. Like, this is what I was meant to do. And I know I'm on the right track. There's no way. You're blessed by God, by the universe, by spirit. This is what you were meant to do. It doesn't mean that it doesn't come with a few sad moments. It does. But I feel like it's going to be worth it. It's worth it. Whatever you feel like, however you feel, maybe try to remember this reading if it helps, because it's going to be worth it. So I'm talking to someone who knows that their profession, their career is something that is quite central in their life, but they still have to deal, you still have to deal with your emotions and your vulnerabilities. And I feel like that's the major test of this year, especially by the end of the year. You'll get this more like deep, in deep contact with your emotions. Maybe this is also because it's a part of your work somehow, because it's creative, or because it's you. If you use your body, you know that emotions are very, very important. Like for dancers, for singers, for performers, your emotional state, your psychological and psychic reality, it really shapes and interferes with your work. So if you're trying to be very professional about what you're doing, it's hard to just set aside your emotions, because they're such an integral part of your creativity and of your profession. You can't really separate from them. If you're a very good dancer, or if you're a very good performer, your whole, you're there. Your whole being is so present, body and soul, when you're doing it, because that's what really engages people, right? It's what attracts, it's what makes you shine, is to not hide your emotions. You can have a filter, of course, because it's very hard if you're just constantly going through this roller coaster. You can have a filter, but you can't really hide them, and you can't really compartmentalize them too much. If this is your case, maybe this is the only kind of warning that this reading brings. Okay, very interesting, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you really like the video, you can also hype it on the mobile app. I have also released the membership tiers, so you might want to check them out. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.